Three of the scariest things I've ever done as a mom in my life and what helped me take the leap. Today, I have a fun one for you. I started thinking about all of the crazy things that I have done in the last 8 years as I was taking a shower because that's where inspiration hits. And I decided to turn it into a video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Anna, and I am doing a 100 days of daily YouTube posting. We are almost at day 60, and I have been sharing videos on my life as a content creator mom, homeschooling, book loving, travel loving, and our life here in Reno as a family of five. So, if any of these topics resonate with you, make sure to subscribe and make sure to check out all of my past videos. Now, three of the craziest things and scariest things I have ever done since becoming a mom. I see a theme here. Like, as I thought about these things, I realized that I don't think I have done anything that crazy before having kids. One would think that motherhood kind of makes you more afraid of taking risks, but somehow it has been sort of like a fire in my butt, the engine pushing me to try all of these things. They are all related to motherhood because they involve my kids. And just sharing that to give you some food for thought because motherhood may be the thing that pushes you to try things that you have never done before. Now, the very first thing, and probably one of the scariest of the three, happened in 2020, and it was me quitting my job. And by saying that, I mean that quitting my life as an employee, deciding that from there onwards, I was not going to work for anyone and having no idea what I was going to do next. Like, I didn't have a plan. All I knew was that I did not want to be an employee. I didn't want to work for someone. I wanted to stay home with my daughter and I would figure it out. I knew I wanted to have an online business, and but I had no idea how I was going to do that. I had worked for for many years. I had worked for others, but the last 6 years of my life as an employee, I spent working as a general restaurant manager at a place that I loved very much. I learned a lot. I was making good money. I was able to save thanks to this job, and I liked it. But I had my first daughter, and it had been 2 years of me feeling the discomfort of having to choose, of knowing that I was spending more hours at work than at home with her. And I didn't have the answers, but it didn't sit well with me. And I decided to quit. Definitely, COVID helped because things started changing in my um, with my work and my role and even my payment. So I would say that I had a little help from God adding to my discomfort. And ultimately, in April or May of 2020, I decided that I was quitting and I haven't looked back since. It's been 6 years and working as a content creator. It is my full-time job, and what I do now wouldn't have been possible if I hadn't made that decision. And definitely being home here with my kids, and now I have three kids, enjoying them, has been possible thanks to the decision that I took in 2020. So, what helped me took the leap? Definitely the discomfort, listening to just how sad I was, and deciding to take action. I think these negative emotions that sometimes we feel are signals from our inner self and from God that we must do something to change where we are. And I'm happy I did. It definitely helped though in the logistics part that I had saved during my time working. I was making good money. I was saving a lot, and that helped. It was still pretty scary, but it gave me some security that I was going to be fine if I cut the income flow, which is exactly what happened for the first 2 years. and I was fine. Look at where I am right now. I was perfectly fine, and having savings definitely helped. Now, let's move on to the second thing that I did, which which didn't happen too long afterwards. We already had two kids, but my at, at that point, my youngest son was only 8 months old, which is pretty insane. So I always like talking about this thing that we did because it's one of the craziest, but it's also one of the best things that I have ever done in my life. And I can't wait to do it again. So around November 2021, one day my husband told me, "What if we buy a one-way ticket to Ecuador, like a flight? We are Ecuadorian." And I was like, "What? Are you serious?" I had been wanting to travel long term for the longest time, and since I worked at this restaurant for so long, I could only take like 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, and I had always dreamed about traveling long term. So when my husband told me this, I was like, "Are you serious?" Yes, yes, I want to do that. So we did. We bought one-way tickets for ourselves, for our two kids, and we took off. We went to Ecuador. We had no idea how long we were going to stay there. We had no idea when we were going to come back. We left our things and we ended up staying in Ecuador for 5 months. And then we kept going. We went to Brazil. We stayed there for 3 months. Then we went to Spain for another month, and we ended our trip in Morocco for another month, making it a total of 10 months on the road with two small kids. It was the best adventure of my life. And it was scary when we did it. I had no idea what we were going to do. I didn't have an established online business, and my husband was cutting his income flow completely. And we went on this adventure entirely on our savings and our trust and our desire for experiences. And I cry sometimes when I remember this trip because it is one of the most beautiful things I have ever done with my kids. There are memories from this trip that no one knows. They will live with me forever. I still have videos of this incredible trip, and I can't wait to do it again. So, what helped me took the leap for this crazy thing? Definitely my husband. Knowing that he was the one who initiated the thought, knowing that it was a desire that I had for so long, it I didn't need anything else. When he suggested it, I was like, "Yes, we're gonna figure it out on the way." And we did. So having his support and definitely knowing that we had savings because we were going to go on this trip and we had no idea how our income was going to come, that definitely helped. Support from someone definitely helps when you are trying to do crazy things that no one else would probably dare do or understand. Is a massive thing when you are doing this. So that's how it happened. Now, the last thing that I have done since becoming a mom, which is one of the scariest things, deciding to homeschool. And now that I've done it for 3 years, it doesn't feel that scary anymore. But when I first started and I wasn't that sure of what I was doing, it was so scary because I didn't know if I was doing the right thing. And the people around me, my family, my friends, none of them homeschooled, and they were questioning my decisions a lot. Especially when I was homeschooling only my first daughter, I felt the outside pressure of like, "Hey, when are you gonna put her in school? Hey, her cousin is already in school," and all talks about school all the time. It was really hard, and I had to put like a barrier between that and me at one point because it was getting really hard and frustrating. It kind of strengthened my belief in that I was doing the right thing, even if I had no idea what I was doing at the beginning. So that was the challenging part. Knowing deep inside you that you want to do something, not knowing how to do it yet because you're figuring it out, and then having outside people kind of pushing you towards not making that thing, going you making you go the other way of what you believe. That was pretty challenging, but I'm so happy that I pushed through and that now I homeschool my three kids and that everyone around me now finds us inspiring. And even my family, who were having second thoughts and doubts about what we were doing, now find what I do really inspiring because have been witnesses of what we've created and what my kids have been learning, and they see the difference in their education, and I really appreciate that. So it was definitely worth the hardship to make it where we are right now. What helped me take the leap in those moments when I felt like I was kind of alone in this decision? My husband, definitely, because he believed in what we were doing as well. I think as travelers, we had experienced how much kids can learn from the world, from just real life. And having his support definitely helped, even when I was still figuring it out. But also surrounding myself with, and not physically, because I didn't have that, but online, finding other families who were doing the same thing, learning from them, seeing families with multiple children homeschooling and getting tips from them and seeing what they were doing, that inspired me so much and showed me that even though I didn't have anyone close to me doing this, there were so many people in the world doing this who had been doing this for so long, and their lives looked pretty magical to me, and I used that as inspiration. So that's all I wanted to share for today. Three crazy experiences, three scary things that I have done since becoming a mom. All of them inspired by motherhood, all of them inspired by the love of doing things differently for my kids. Pretty crazy things, and I am so happy I did all of these things. I can't wait for the next crazy thing that I do. It has been a while since I've done something that crazy, and I'm craving some of that craziness in my life. I hope you find this video entertaining and inspiring and motivating, and I hope I made you smile with some of the stories that I shared. Again, if you are a homeschooling mom or if you resonate with any of the other things that I am deeply passionate about, I would love to invite you so you stay here in my channel and we can continue through this challenge together. So there you have it. I will see you tomorrow on my next video.